Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
When I say I'm not an outsider, there's a kind of protection to it. It's almost said in anger. There's a lot of and that kind of protection holds me. It's like a war. When I read autobiographies of great Indian artists, uh, they were good people who aspired, and there was a system that pushed them. I think today we've created a system. We want ready-made people.
Hi, Amit. Welcome to Film Companion.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Happy to see you outside the gym.
This is true. This is true. We normally meet somewhere around the treadmill.
Yeah, actually, mostly. And you work so hard. Like I've seen you train, like full focus. It's so nice to see you in the gym.
Listen, it's first of all, there's you there, then there's Tiger Shroff, then there's Disha. These are not people you want to stand next to and train. I feel so idiotic, but now I miss it. Now I'm like,
Trust.
Kab
I feel more idiotic when I see Tiger train. So he's incredible. So that's okay. Same feelings. I understand your feelings.
You feel me, right? You know what I'm feeling.
Absolutely.
I mean, July is looking like a massive month for you. There is, of course, the second season of Breathe. There's another series called Avrod. There's Shakuntala with Vidya. There's Yara with Vidyut Jamwal. What is your mind space right now? Are you sort of filled with nervous energy, or have you kind of now come to a place where it's more zen-like and you don't have great expectations from anything?
Great expectations always. My great expectations will never go. Zen, excitement, nervousness. I think, ma'am, I'm a little bit of everything, and I'm okay with that. But before I get into talking to you and answering you, I think this chat will not go in the right direction till I admit and tell you that how excited I am that we can do this, that you've taken out the time. And, I would never walk up to you in the gym and tell you that, ma'am, it's one of my aspirations to, be on a chat with you. So at the onset, I want to tell you first, thank you. And second, July is more special because of this also.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Amit. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And I mean that.
I'm really happy that we've got this opportunity. So tell me, you're all of those things.
Yes. So there's a anxiousness because we put a lot of effort in Breathe. It's almost like our Breathe, our lifeline. And I say our because we are very connected as a team when it comes to Breathe. I've been attached to Breathe for the last 4 years, and it's just growing. The family that makes it is growing, and the viewership is growing. So right now, I think I was just thinking aloud in the afternoon, and you know what I realized? I have a lot of butterflies in my stomach, and for the first time, I have butterflies in my head as well.
But Amit, tell me, you just said you've been connected with the show for 4 years. So you've been playing Kabir Sawan, of course, through season 1, now through season 2. And this kind of long form storytelling is wonderful because you can really deep dive into characters. You can really kind of get to know things and stories unravel at their own pace. But does a fatigue ever set in? Like, do you ever get just bored with this guy?
I mean, for me, this question throws another question. Does a painter ever get bored of the brush or the paint color or the canvas? It's just another opportunity to feel, to become, to express and share. And it's like, if you ask me, ma'am, this is one of the highs of my life, to become Kabir Sawan, to be a part of a series like Breathe, to be a part of such a beautiful ecosystem that allows me, that they allow me to have this kind of ownership, this participation, this thought process. So there's no fatigue. There's only I want more. I want to chew more. I want to dig in more. And it's just not this excitement and this mindset I'm able to keep and have is because of the team that we have, the writers that we have, my producer, Vikram Malhotra, and even Amazon, like the kind of support system Amazon gives us is just so amazing. So no fatigue. I want more.
That's wonderful. So, I mean, I was listening to a TED talk you did. I think it was about 2 years ago. You're talking about your story, and you were talking about how much you struggled. And I had no idea. I mean, the things you said were just incredible about being a sort of security guard at a Benetton store in Delhi, about living on the footpath for 2 years, about just the kind of things you've had to deal with. But honestly, I couldn't connect the dots. Like, you went to La Martiniere School in Lucknow. How do you go from there to being homeless in Delhi? How do you go from being homeless in Delhi to being a film actor in Mumbai? Like, can you share more?
So I'm a avid mountaineer, ma'am. I do a lot of rock climbing and stuff. I'll give you a very mountaineering example. I'm sure you must know what an avalanche is.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, La Martiniere and those early years of my life was Mount Everest, and then an avalanche came. You know,
You
and I
grew up
don't.
in Lucknow.
I went to a boarding school, La Martiniere.
Okay.
And then things happened. I lost my dad. A lot of things happened. I ran away from home. But there was an avalanche, and I'm not saying this with sadness. I'm not saying this with. I mean, you can feel I have zero kind of disappointment or zero negativity or sadness in me. I'm very, very happy. So there was a phase of life where I was 16. I was a security guard in Benetton showroom. Strangely, ma'am, somebody just messaged me on Instagram. One of the sales boys, Vipin, messaged me 3 days back. He said, and I said, oof, it just took me back. And then I did jobs, and I'm proud of it. I'm just proud of the journey that I've had, and I'm glad that I've done so many jobs. That means I can do so many characters.
Of course.
Of
course.
Yeah.
And you're tough. You dealt with, I remember, I think Nawazuddin Siddiqui once told me कि I always think कि अब जो हमने सह लिया उससे बुरा क्या होगा, film flop हो गई है, but हमने तो मतलब, 2 दिन खाना नहीं खाया, we walked miles to get to audition, तो उससे बुरा क्या होने वाला है,
If you ask me, मैं बोलूँगा ditto.
But did you want to be an actor in all of this? Was acting a dream?
No, ma'am.
So how did that crystallize?
I had never seen a Hindi film. The first Hindi film I saw was Bombay. And the second Hindi movie I saw when I moved to Mumbai. So I was always I used to do NCC camps, sports, football, CATC camp, gun training, march past, fights. That was my life. And then, of course, I was on the footpath for so many years. I don't know, ma'am. Something happened when I was 22. And I told a very dear friend of mine, and I said, what, I'm going to go to Bombay to become an actor. And they were all zapped. By then, people knew that I'm a little, abbot. And after many years of acting and doing television, one day it struck me. And you know what that was? In class 11th, I went to my dramatic teacher. And I had this thing because they were doing a play. And my energies when I was younger were all over the place. In school, they were even more violent, and but something attracted me to go to this play, and she rejected me. She did not give me a part. And I still remember that I said, ma'am, can you just audition me? And she said, no, you're a troublemaker. You will spoil the play. It is so strange that after many years, I remembered this. I said, you know what? This is, I think, why I have come to Bombay.
Tell me, you said in that talk that there is no such thing as an insider and an outsider, which is, of course, a wonderful sentiment. But we know that's not the ground reality, right? And what's happened in the last few weeks has really put this whole question into focus. And Amit, as somebody who has been in the trenches, who's seen from the front lines what people who come into Mumbai have to go through, how would you, if you could offer solutions, what would your solution be? How do we make the industry a more equitable place?
Ma'am, I definitely have a view on this, and I'm thankful that you're asking, So first I would like to say, when I say I'm not an outsider, there's a kind of protection to it. it's almost said in anger. There's a lot of kind of, and that kind of protection holds me. It's like a war. But there are two kinds of war, ma'am. One is that you cry victim, you nullify all the good that has happened to you, all the people that have been nice to you, warm to you, supported you, wrote for you, worked for you, casted you, and you
Correct.
just nullify that. You just nullify that. So I just think that for me, when I created this concept, which I shared, that I'm not uh, an outsider, was like uh, more of like a warrior, like a soldier. That I'm not going to allow you to treat me like an outsider. I'm an insider. I needed that, ma'am, at that point. If you ask me today, I don't. But today, I'm glad there's a debate. There's people are ready to kind of, we are ready. We're ready to kind of address this, without victimizing. I just think that if I victimize myself and say that, what, I'm an outsider and everybody was bad to me, then how come a guy who didn't know anything knows a little today?
Yeah.
I've had a huge change and transformation and learning in life. It's just because of this industry. I've met some amazing people in this industry. Now, coming back to the point, yes, they are relevant issues which we can discuss. I have another method to it. I can talk to you about this for like 12 hours. Another aspect, because I think when you talk about something and people are listening, there has to be an aspiration in it. The easy thing is to victimize yourself and just discourage people. So my another concept for this is work so hard on your life, on your craft, on your insights, which affect your craft, that nobody takes you as an outsider. My another concept to this is that the insiders, the people in power, people who know the words, people who have the structure, the ability, the seniors, all of you, who are heard, who have a voice, who are, I think, have to dig in and take the onus.
Yeah.
That this, I tell you, ma'am, we need to debate. You know what, like, kind of saddens me? Such bright mind, such a bright industry. And at this point, we have to discuss insider and outsider.
Correct.
Is this the form of art? Do we have nothing else to talk about? M.F. Hussein's and the paintings and the sculptures and so many different aspects just related to cinema and 1,000 million arts? Fine. We are at a juncture where we have to. But I just feel people at power, and everybody is at power, ma'am, at some level. The ecosystem of life is such. Like,
Yeah.
I have some junior. I just think we have to dig in ourselves, eradicate the special privileges, at least in art to start with, and it has to come with people in power. It is an understanding. It is very simple, and I have a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope that if we can create a system, and right now, because we are talking, because you and me, we are from the same industry, we kind of represent we are a part of the Indian film industry. I just think we need to make a good, equal, fair ecosystem. I have nothing against, I have nothing against, I've nothing against any privileged set, but when that privileged set is out in the forum, we have to create some equality, and I want to add one more point. I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time on this. I just feel one thing that I've been thinking a lot, I think in the industry where we can work or get better, I think, ma'am, over the years, I think we look for ready-made people in the films. I think, ma'am, earlier when I read autobiographies of great Indian artists, they were good people who aspired, and there was a system that pushed them. I think today we've created a system, we want ready-made people. And I'm telling you, coming from footpath, coming from, of course, these are all assets, but it's everybody cannot be ready-made. So if we can kind of keep a balance and understand this, that, what, they are ready-made people. Yes, they should get opportunity, but let's not forget that there's a system which is not ready-made, which needs to be cultivated. And I think if we put emphasis in that, then I think there'll be a nice balance. and this outsider insider thing will be.
But I mean, what do you sense around you? What do you sense from the conversations around you? Do you actually think there are going to be changes on the ground?
Ma'am, you can call me a fool, but I am an eternal optimist. And one of my favorite books is by this amazing guy. His name is Dr. Dane Heer, and he says, "Changing you, changing the world." So any change that we want to see is something that we need to bring into our actions. And I think the power of cinema, the power of words, the power of people is we listen. Words affect us. And the most amazing thing which I've learned, ma'am, from my life is that you can correct. You can correct your course.
Of course.
It just starts from the will,
Yeah.
the willingness. And I think, but it has to be done in a positive way. You know, I just think accusing, abusing, it will take you nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and I have strong hope. I have strong hope that we'll become more gentle with each other, and we will create an atmosphere where the scope of the betterment of craft and securing artists, preserving them,
Yeah.
keeping like demographics to kind of preserve artists. I think we can do that. I'll be the happiest.
You think the streaming platforms will perhaps help in this? Because, there is no sort of, you're not measuring a Friday versus uska Friday itna tha, iska Friday itna hai. There is no box office. It's pure talent. We're watching your performance and we're judging you on that.
Mama, yeah, I mean, I think there's a strong point in it. Streaming sites kind of have brought some focus back on where it should be. Execution, craft, equality, you know. So I would like to give a huge kind of, there's a huge reason of whatever correction that is happening. I would definitely think you have a very strong point on that.
Tell me, you're writing a book called Nobody's Listening?
How do you know? I've actually upset about it. I've spoken
You
about it.
only said about it.
I know. I used to talk about it, now I've stopped talking about it. And anyways, I'm not ashamed of it. I am.
Kitni likhi hai aur who is not listening?
So it's a concept. I just think in life, we're not listening. We're not listening to each other. At work, we're not listening to each other. Actors are not listening to each other. We're not listening to the environment. Husband, wives are not listening to each other. So this concept came to me a couple of years back. And then when I started writing, it was so horrible. And then I kind of left it. I said, you know what, I can't write. But then the thought was so much in me that I started writing again. I think I got better flow with what I want to write, because I'm not a writer. So I'm still with it. I've not given up. You know.
So, कुछ deadline है or you're just as it comes you write?
मैम जब फिल्म करियर में डेडलाइन नहीं हुआ तो इसमें क्यों होगा?
Acha, finally, Amit, tell me, if you had to choose one person from your Breathe cast and crew to be quarantined with, who would it be?
To be quarantined?
Yeah. Quarantine, lockdown, you have to spend a lot of time with that person. Who would it be?
I would say Mayank.
So you and your director can just keep chatting.
Yeah. We can spend, you have no idea. It's like, you have to like literally throw us off the bus. We can just talk and talk and talk. Yeah. And I share a very special bond with him as well. So we talk some sense, but we talk a lot of shit as well.
Nice. And Amit, having sort of, taken this incredible journey and being where you are, I think it's almost 10 years in the movies now. Isn't it 10 years in with television and films put together?
Yeah.
What is your advice to all the people who look up to you, who see the success you have, who are also perhaps dreaming of kind of making their own way in? What is your advice to them?
Especially to all the artists and to all the aspiring actors, don't listen to anyone. Just do one thing. Create your art. Follow your art and be your art. And I think if you are in this realm, it will guide you, it will give you all the answers.
That's what you've done.
And a lot of silly things as well with that.
But if you don't make mistakes, how do you get ahead, right? It's all part of the travel.
I know.
Well, listen, it's been such a pleasure, Amit. Take care and good luck for Breathe. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
For the other 50 things that are coming after Breathe.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you in person soon.
Absolutely. See you back at the treadmill soon, hopefully.
Absolutely. Aye, Captain.
Bye.
All right,
Take
ma'am.
care.
All right, ma'am.
Thank
All right,
you.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Bye. Hi, everyone. This is Amit Sadh. And if you've liked this interview, you'll always like Anu ma'am's interview. But if you've liked my interview as well, like, share, subscribe on Film Companion.